How do you like my hat?
Oh, that's pretty nice. What's under the bill?
The
Oh, it's a Tigers
Tigers.
hat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even though they can't hit a freaking baseball. Jeez. Hello, Lions fans, and welcome to episode 31 of Just Lying Around, a Detroit Lions podcast presented by the World of Football. I'm your host, Kyle Sutherland, and I am joined by my co-host and brother-in-law, Adam Snow. Adam, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, Kyle. We got a schedule released. The Lions got a lot of big primetime games. Jared Goff got paid. We got, it's not gonna be a big show, but those are some big stuff to talk about.
Yep. And yeah, Lions just released their schedule. They did a little video. It was
Boring.
pretty good job. I thought it was pretty fun.
Oh, you thought it was funny? Oh, it had a couple moments. I was a little disappointed. Little
Yeah.
disappointed in it.
Yeah, on today's show, we're going to go over the Jared Goff extension and then go over the 2024 Detroit Lions schedule. But first, we want to thank you for checking out our podcast, whether that's on the YouTube channel or on your podcast platform of choice. You can find the World of Football and its many offerings on multiple social media platforms. Just check down in the description. And now let's get into it with some exciting news. So, if you haven't heard yet, they finally sealed the deal with Goff. He got his extension for 4 years, up to $212 million, with a $73 million signing bonus and a $170 million guaranteed. So looks like we got him for what, 5 more years now?
Is it including this year? So it'll be 5 years altogether, if I
Yep.
understand it right. So good deal.
Yep, and a lot of people out there saying, "Well, what about Hendon Hooker? What are we going to do with Hendon Hooker? Why did they waste a draft pick on Hendon Hooker if they're gonna?"
Why did they, Kyle? Tell me, why did we? Why did we
Uh,
waste a draft pick?
because I think Hendon Hooker is going to be a great backup for the Lions, or if something happens with Goff, I think he's going to step in and be a um, quarterback that, unlike previous years where we had our backup quarterbacks or were just rotten, I think Hendon Hooker is going to be a lot better than them. So I think that's why they went that route.
Yeah, I think. Look, so obviously when Goff got here, the big story was always, why trade away a Matthew Stafford for a Jared Goff? Is he the bridge quarterback? To the next guy? And I was one of those people. I'm sure you were one of those people at first that thought, Goff is just a 2-year stopgap. But I mean, if he ends up being okay, maybe we keep him. Who knows? That was always on the table as well. And here we are, 3 years later. He has earned that contract. He's definitely been a big surprise. I never thought I was going to buy a Jared Goff jersey, to be honest with you, and here I am buying a Jared Goff jersey. And I I think it's well deserved. The dude did something for the Detroit Lions that, even though I love Matthew Stafford, he will always be one of my favorite Detroit Lions ever. Yep. That he won playoff games. He won the division. I I just it's hard to argue with that. He did something Matthew Stafford couldn't in his 12 years in Detroit in 3 years. Took him 3 years. I mean, granted, he needed a whole organization to kind of get revamped and restructured and all that, and get the right people in place to actually make smart football decisions. And here we are. So, uh, when you hear the number, though, Kyle, do you get nervous, like hearing that much guaranteed? You know,
No, not really. They extended Amon-Ra, Sewell, like so. They have Decker already extended, so he's working off that contract as well. But I think with the front office, the way they structure these deals, um, I think it was last podcast we announced Sewell and Amon-Ra, but what I failed to mention was Sewell had a 5th year option that the Detroit could exercise, I guess. and they ended up exercising. So his 4 year, I think it was 4 years, that will not start until after next year. So that that cap hit alone won't start hitting until 2 years from now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
And
not worried one bit.
yeah, so here's the essentially some of the details kind of broken down. Um, his signing bonus for this contract is $73 million. His 2024 base salary will be $2.611 million, fully guaranteed. His 2025 base salary will be $18 million, fully guaranteed. 2026 will be a base salary of $55 million. Holy cow! $20 million of which is fully guaranteed at signing, and $35 million of which becomes fully guaranteed in 2025. The 2027 base salary is $50 million, with $22 million of which is guaranteed for injury at signing. Of that amount, $18 million becomes fully guaranteed by 2026. The remaining $4 million becomes fully guaranteed by 2027. And then you got 2028 offseason roster bonus of $7 million. 2028 base salary is $39 million, and 2028 escalator, whatever that means, is $4 million. So they have a while before they have to make a decision in 2028. To figure out where they are with Goff. Do they restructure at that point? And save some more money, and because he's still young. He's 29 years old. So
Oh yeah.
by 2028, he'll be 34, 33. He'll be kind of my age. And I mean, we've seen Tom Brady play into his 40s. Who knows how long Jared Goff wants to play? So I think this is a perfect contract length. And it's interesting also that it's 4-year extensions for a Sewell, for an Amon-Ra, and now a Jared Goff with that extra year in there too. So they've got all these guys lined up together, which I find very interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, going down like the road a couple years, they could do like extend, restructure the deals, like all that stuff. So
Yeah, they can keep kicking it down the line. Like that's what the
yeah,
Rams were doing. That's why the Rams, were able to keep all those big pieces there for a while. Your Jalen Ramsey, your Von Miller, your Stafford. They were able to keep a lot of those pieces in place. Just because they kicked a lot of that cap down the road.
yeah. So yeah, we will. Hopefully everything works out here. We can hopefully get another few more contract extensions in the next couple years with their other big playmakers, Hutchinson mainly, but we'll see.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
we'll find out. So,
Yeah. So let's move on to the main event here. We have the 2024 schedule release for the Lions. That dropped a couple hours ago, or well, last hour.
well,
Um,
we're recording this close to 9 o'clock. It came out about an hour ago. We finally got on together. So,
yeah. So they had the duo from what was that sitcom they did? Like it was based in Detroit. Those two guys.
oh, I'm not sure what that show is. I just know the one guy had the Netflix special, and he's in all the memes. Thank you for, I forget what his show is called, but I don't know that whole schedule release video. I was a bit disappointed, as I mentioned up top. A little disappointed. Couple of good jokes, but I don't know, it fell flat for me. They could have done a better job. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you
I
got
enjoyed it.
you find their names.
I think yeah, it was called the Detroiters. So those two did
Oh,
the video. They just kind of screwing around with that machine. Then they didn't really do much once they started posting like their games. I wish they would have done a little more than that, but the first part was pretty funny. But let's get into this. So the Lions ended up with 6 primetime games. Some pretty big games here. We got the first week Rams, Monday Night Football of the first game of the week, or
first game of the season.
first. Yep. And then week 2 we have the Bucks at home. Week 3 we have Cardinals at their place. Week 4 we have another primetime game against the Seahawks, Monday Night Football. And this one here, their bye is week 5, which I thought was, that's pretty freaking early for.
That is very
Um,
early. I did not
yeah.
like seeing that at all.
So
But
hopefully,
yeah, I get it. Like, hopefully there's no major injuries. Usually, like right out of the gate, we got a couple guys to kind of get hurt there, so maybe that would be a nice spot to be like, all right, got a couple guys kind of banged up early on. Let's, get to that bye week. I hate the early bye. I hate it. I wish they'd get rid of the early bye for teams and like a minimum wait till like week 7 or 8 to start doing all the bye weeks. I think that's silly. Like you're barely a month into the season.
yeah. So yeah, after that you got a handful of games after the bye. So hopefully everyone can
A
stay busy.
handful. You mean the rest of the schedule?
You got the full schedule basically after the bye.
But what do you
So
think of that
hopefully
first?
everyone.
What do you think of that first? Sorry, what do you think of that first part of the schedule? Though it's 3 out of the 4 games they play before that bye are home, and they're
Oh
against very good opponents.
yeah. So Rams and Bucks, we last year faced them in the playoffs. That first game, Rams Monday Night Football. That should be a good game. We got Stafford coming back to Detroit again.
Does
I
he get
expect
booed?
that. Yeah, I expect that stadium to be rowdy as ever.
Oh, it's
Then
gonna be
you got the
Jared Goff chance. It's gonna be awesome.
uh,
It's gonna be so cool and perfect for me because usually the opening weekend of the NFL season is my music festival I go to every year, and usually like on Sunday it's me rushing home to catch the Lions on the 1 o'clock kickoff. Last year, obviously, it was the Thursday night, so I couldn't watch it because I was in a cornfield at the music festival, couldn't catch the game. At least this year it's Sunday night, so I get to come home, take my time. I can spend more time at the music festival, come home, and watch the Lions Sunday night. It all works out this year. I love it.
yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
And I will not
And
be
then
wearing that jersey. I will be wearing
uh,
my Jared Goff jersey probably. So,
well, hopefully by then I'll have my jersey. So we'll
are you
see.
still waiting on that thing getting shipped?
Yeah.
Jeez. Who did you piss off at Fanatics?
I don't know, but it's gonna be hot off the press apparently. But yeah, then week 4, Monday Night Football against the Seahawks. It'll be interesting because they got a new coach, and every time we play the Seahawks, that's a tough battle, and somehow they always inch by winning. So
It's a high scoring game usually, man. Oh,
yeah,
those last 2 matches because last year obviously they had the overtime loss in week 2, and then the year before that I was at that game where they lost like what was it 45-42, like a high scoring game, one of the best games I'd been to in a while. For even though the Lions lost, it was a great game. It was a lot of fun. Uh, but man, like that's gonna be a good game on Monday Night Football. Like I'm looking forward to that.
yep. But moving on here, we got week 6. We're at the Dallas Cowboys revenge game. I expect
Oof.
the Detroit Lions to come out um, bruising up those Cowboys up and down the field, just blowing them out. So I should see no reason why we shouldn't just annihilate them that game. And then we got week 7 at the Vikings against J.J. McCarthy. Um, that'll
Are you
be
gonna be okay?
interesting.
Are you gonna be okay
Yeah, I'll
during
be
that
all
game?
right.
You're not gonna be wearing
I'll,
your McCarthy Vikings jersey, are you?
nope, I'll have to put that away. And then week 8, we have the Titans at home. Week 9, we are at the Packers. Week 10, we have a Sunday night football, another primetime game at the Texans. That ought to be a exciting game there. Texans
Heck
are up
yeah.
and coming. They did really good last year, so we'll see what kind of momentum they bring this year if they continue that.
Or
And
momentum,
then,
whatever you're about to say.
what's that?
I said or momentum. You were about to say
Yeah,
momentum.
yeah,
So
mementos. Okay.
or mento. Ooh.
Yep. And then week 11, we have the Jaguars at home. Week 12, we are at the Colts. And then week 13, we have the Bears at home, Thanksgiving Day. Um, I would like to see the Lions win this Thanksgiving, so that'd be great, which I suspect they should. That is the first time we will be playing against Caleb Williams and their high-powered offense they have. So it'll be interesting how that game goes.
It should be a good one. I saw somebody post that the Lions should wear their throwbacks that day, and the Bears should wear their throwbacks that day that they've been wearing. That would be a great uniform matchup. Please, NFL, make it happen. Please make that one happen.
Yeah, we'll see. As we're sitting around the dinner table, either angry eating or happy eating, we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, if
And
it
then,
follows the trend of the latest Lions Thanksgiving games, unfortunately, it won't bode well for Detroit. I can't. It's been 8 straight Thanksgiving since they won a game on Thanksgiving, so it makes me a little nervous. Last thing I want is to give Bears fans at work, that kind of satisfaction of beating us on Thanksgiving.
yeah, and I think last year when they played the Packers, I think Dan Campbell, I think that was that game where he said he didn't have the guys prepared enough. So I suspect that this Thanksgiving game he's gonna have them um ready to go, fighting at the nail to actually win a Thanksgiving game this year.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yep. So as they all say, in Dan Campbell we trust. So yeah. And then week 14, we have the Packers at another primetime game, Thursday night football. Then we have the Bills at home, week 15. Week 16, we are at the Bears. Um, that is their, looking at this end of the schedule, you know how last year they had it pretty easy at the end of the year with not having any outdoor stadiums in the cold weather.
Yeah,
I feel like again this year they only have the Bears at their place in the cold, so yeah, Lions are getting lucky there.
yeah.
And then week 17, this is going to be another good game. We are at the 49ers and another primetime game, Monday Night Football. That should be a really good, another good um,
Rematch.
match to watch there. And then we end the season again, like I think it was last year. We ended the season with the Vikings.
Yep.
We'll destroy their playoff hopes and defeat them at the Lions. So yeah, that's the whole week 1 through 18 of the Detroit Lions schedule.
What's the game you're looking forward to the most?
I want to see what they do at Jerry's World. See if they can blow them out of the water. I think that's my game of uh, the season. I want to see what they do against them.
Yeah, I'm. That's a good one. I mean, I kind of got that first game circle. I think that's the tone setter. You know, the Rams could easily have won that wild card game in Detroit. We'll see how Detroit treats Matthew Stafford coming back. Now that it's not a playoff game, is the organization going to do a welcome home video kind of thing? Like, hey, welcome back to Detroit. You know, and are the fans going to do the same thing? Are the fans going to boo? Or are they going to, how is it going to go? I think it's going to be exactly like the playoff game, except intensified. It's going to be the playoff games up another notch because now it's the season opener. It's the tone setter of the season. The Lions sold out season tickets for the second straight year. That's a story we didn't touch on, but they sold out season tickets again. So that place is going to be rowdy. It's going to be nuts. And so I think that's a great way to kick off the season. I like that you brought up the fact that end of the schedule it's indoors. It's the the last half of their schedule is not that bad. I mean, you go to Green Bay in like what would that be, October-ish? Okay, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Then you're in a dome stadium with the Texans. Then you're home against the Jaguars in your dome. You go to a dome in Indianapolis. You're in a dome against the Bears at home, in a dome against the Packers at home, in a dome against the Bills at home. You go to the nasty Chicago weather in January. At San Francisco, it should be pretty nice in January or December, whatever. I'm not sure the exact dates here. We don't have that written down on our notes, and then home against the Vikings. You couldn't ask for a better setup for Jared Goff. When we talked about last year, he was so good at home inside a dome. And most of those games are indoors or in a dome, at home or in a dome. So I think that schedule really benefits the Lions. As crappy as the first half is, where you got 3 out of your first 4 games are at home, which is nice to start, but it's like then you have that 5th week bye. A bit of a rough patch there. Then they got, uh, 3 or 4 on the road. Uh, Actually, they got like 4 out of 5 games on the road after the bye. That's gonna be a tough hill right there, especially against
Yeah.
division opponents, especially against good teams like the Texans. So it's not gonna be a cakewalk schedule. I didn't know if you wanted to take the time here to count wins and losses, or if you want to do that a different day. But the other one I wanted to ask you before you decided what we're gonna do: what games do you pull out the black jerseys for? I know I'm not a big fan of them. I have a game in mind where you would pull the black jerseys out. But what games do you pull the black jersey out? Because I would assume they're going to do 2, maybe 3 black jersey games.
Those are at home, right? They can only wear those at home.
I'm not sure. I would assume maybe, unless there's like a special occasion, and that's why my pick would be at the Dallas Cowboys. You wear the black uniforms and you go down there and you get some sweet, sweet revenge on the Dallas Cowboys. But what do you think? I'm sure it can only be home games, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, so just 2 games at home. My picks would probably the Packers Thursday night football. They might wear it there, and then I don't know, maybe Seahawks Monday night football.
I was
'Cause
just thinking that might be the one. That might be the first one where you get the black jerseys.
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
definitely see that. Yeah, Monday Night Football. You know, that's probably the one right there.
yep. And then we'll probably do our score predictions on the next video. I just want to talk about these first 4 games real quick.
Okay.
The Lions upgraded their secondary. Um, if they have, if they did have Cam Sutton on this roster, he'd probably be third string backup, I think, as far as cornerback goes. So this is a major step up, especially that first game. You got your Puka Nacua and Cooper Cup. Puka Nacua roasted us at the playoff game, so it'd be interesting if Terrion Arnold covered him or Carlton Davis covered him. But I suspect them to do a better job this time covering him. Then you got the Bucks second game, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So that's another big test, and then you got your big test here, Cardinals with their they picked number 4 this draft. I think they got Harrison Jr., the All Star. Everyone says he's going to be probably one of the best wide receivers out there. Um, that's another big test for them. And then Seahawks, they have
DK
but
Metcalf and
DK
Tyler
Metcalf.
Lockett. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
So,
you go down the schedule though. I could think of every single team Detroit plays has a great wide receiving core, with the exception of one team, and that's the Buffalo Bills.
and Titans.
I mean, they got Hopkins, man. They got Hopkins. Uh,
Well,
I
they got that Mayo eating quarterback, so we'll see how he does.
yeah. But look, it's going to be a test. You're darn right, and I think that right now my prediction for not a score. I don't want to do any score predictions, but that Lions Rams game, I don't know which way it's going to go. I do think Detroit should win that game. They could win that game, but it's going to be a shootout. Week 1, you're going to have a bunch of probably a couple of those rookies for Detroit. Unproven yet against a big challenge against the Cooper Cup and against Puka Nacua. So I'm sure they're going to get their yards. It's going to be a heck of a game for Stafford, probably. Going to air it out. And I think it'll be the same for Goff. That Rams secondary, I'm not impressed with right now. And I think
Oh yeah,
between Amon-Ra and Laporta, and you're going to have Jamison Williams probably now finally kind of getting a bigger role in the offense. That's going to be a factor. It's going to be a shootout. And I think that's exactly why you put that game on Sunday Night Football. It's going to be an absolute shootout. Flash forward to September when it's probably like a low scoring defensive battle. So
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Jameson Williams. This is his make or break year for him. So uh, expect big things out of him. I think everyone else does, and I think he realizes that. So that's going to be a one of those players to watch. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
I'm not going to go as far as to say make or break, but
Oh,
definitely
it
this has got
is.
to
It
be.
has to be.
I mean, I don't know. I think this has got to be a year where maybe we see what his actual role is, getting a full season under, with the team, unhurt. Just the role. He doesn't have to be wide receiver number one.
Oh,
He's just got.
yeah, he won't.
So I'm fine with that. But to say make or break, I mean, if it depends on how we plan to use him. We'll see.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Um, Other than like I kind of want to get. There's two road games I really want to go to. I want to go to that Arizona game, and I really want to go to that Colts game. Home games though it's tough. I know we were kind of talking in our group chat about maybe going to the Bills game. That seems a little late in the season for me.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Aaron just said he got tickets to the Jaguars game. Uh, that could be interesting. I mean, I don't know. I would definitely have to think about what game I would want to go see now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe go see the first game.
I wish I could swing that one, but that's going to be sold out in a heartbeat. It's probably sold out right now.
Let's
Tickets went
see.
on sale, so
You're yeah. They got people going in a queue.
oh yep. So
Good luck.
yep, I wasn't on top of it this year. You know the Raiders was the last team for Dad uh, last year that he hasn't seen in person. So that was our big thing last year was just getting that game. This year I'm just kind of like, well, we'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be a ticket package deal, and we can go to a game. Or I have friends that have season tickets, and maybe they'll be like, "Hey, we can't make it to a certain game. You want them?" I'll be like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah. All right.
All right.
All right. Let's close it out then.
All right, sir. We hope you enjoyed listening to today's episode and come back for more. Be sure to visit the World of Football's website, www.theworldoffootball.com, for news, links, upcoming events, original articles, videos, and more. If you want to get in touch with us, please send an email to info@theworldoffootball.com, or you can connect with us by either liking the World of Football on Facebook or following the World of Football's X account. Those links will be down in the episode description. Be sure to check out our flagship show, This Week in the World of Football, which drops new episodes every Tuesday, hosted by yours truly and my father, Randy. You can find that on the podcast feed and on our YouTube channel. Again, links are down in the description below.
Yeah, you guys are doing big things over there. You're covering the Arena Football League, so
Oh, yeah,
if
that
you
train
guys
wreck.
are interested in that, definitely check that out. I've been listening every week, so
Oh,
that's
have you now?
fun
Oof. Why do you
fun
say it
thing
like
to
that?
listen to there.
Fun.
Anyways, that's it for us this week. Next up, we have training camp going on. I believe that's in a couple months. So,
Man, is it going to be a couple months till we do another episode? We got to have another episode planned before that.
well,
We can't wait that long.
unless something big comes out, or we might just do an episode of like season predictions or which games are going to win or lose. So,
Yeah, we could do that. I'm usually not a fan anymore of going through the schedule and doing wins and losses, but I think having a nice friendly competition between us and making it an episode would be a good decision there, bud.
yep. And at the end of the year, whoever's the closest gets a Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew. How about we raise the stakes a little bit, my dude?
No,
I want that big
that's
hat.
I can point you in the direction to buy one.
I want your big hat.
Nope. Okay. Anyways, thanks for watching, listening, subscribing. Be on the lookout for future videos and the next couple upcoming here. We'll announce it. So just be on the lookout, and we'll see you on the next one.